Okay. So, like I said, it's just sort of laboring on from yesterday's question.
Yes.
For me, if you take a longer term, surely
Yes.
the interest that
Is
you
more.
pay will be more. And how would that benefit? I know there's an extra facility in terms of another, whatever, 500,000 Rand.
Yes.
But,
Yes.
isn't it in the long run paying off more interest?
It is if you stick to the minimum installment. If you plan to only pay, let's say, what is the minimum installment? Worst case scenario. Look, this is based on prime. We're not going to secure prime. But the pre-approval assessments are, or what the max is that you can afford, the bank stress test to the prime rate. So that's the max
Okay.
ceiling limit they cap at. But for argument's sake, in your category, we can look at a prime minus 1.5% easily. You know,
Oh,
based
really?
on
Okay.
based on your credit scoring that are reports that
Mm.
I've been able to review as part of
Yeah.
our assessment process, and also just the type of salary that we're looking at, which is an annual salary of over 1.5 million for both you and your wife. So
Yeah.
those
Okay. So it's
those
joint,
two,
eh?
correct, joint,
Mm.
yes,
Mm, mm, mm,
correct.
mm.
So we're
Okay.
looking
So the
at
rates that you've given on the the rates that is given
no,
on the certificates.
no,
Oh,
those
sorry, the amounts, the
amounts,
amounts,
yes,
right? The
yes,
pre-approved amount. Is that
correct.
actually a guaranteed amount?
Yes, yes, I am very meticulous in my assessment. It's not just a, you know, a run of the mill calculation that we do.
Yeah.
Although there are
Yeah.
scary companies out there that do just take, whatever figures they plug it in and that's that. My
Yes.
assessment has been meticulous in terms of I've run your credit score reports. I've triple checked the salaries going into your accounts, you know.
Yes.
I've triple checked the expenses coming off your bank account records with your
Okay.
declarations as well. We've looked at, but I've gone through this with a fine comb, and I've made sure
Okay.
that
Awesome.
everything has been looked at.
Yeah. I
I've
just
even
wanted to say, sorry to cut you there.
yeah.
It's just that if you look at something and now you see something that you want and then you put in an offer, say close to the amount that you've been pre-approved for, then the bank say no, but we're not giving you that. We're giving you
No,
less than that,
no, no, no.
and then
Yes.
stuck between a rock and a
No,
hard
no, you
place. You
don't
know what do
want
you do
that.
now?
No, exactly.
Mm.
No, no, no. That's exactly why I make sure everything is done correctly and thoroughly. So I've even what I can advise you on. I've even been very conservative, because your salary drawing increased by 50,000. And I didn't take that into account even because,
Oh, okay.
yeah, because why I'll say that is because for a self-employed applicant, your increase needs to be there for 6 months. At the moment,
Okay.
it's there for 2 months. Look, I mean, it's validated because the profits are there in the company, but the bank's rigid rulings are that they will only look at it if it's been there for 6 months. So just so that you have peace of mind, that's how conservative I've been with this outcome.
Okay, awesome. And then just again about the 20 versus 30 years,
Yeah.
would you advise a longer term then for the
Yes.
fund?
By all means, if you are able to be disciplined enough to pay an extra, I would say 1,000 Rand at least every month
Yeah.
into your bond minimum, you can pay it off in 20 years. Because literally that is the difference between a 20-year and a 30-year. At the moment, based on 11%, it's about 1,000 Rand extra per month.
I see. But just correct me if I'm wrong, right? So say now we
No,
sign a contract for
sorry.
a
My apologies.
hello?
Because sorry. My apologies. It's about 2,500 Rand extra per month, based on this particular outcome that
month.
we've. Yes, extra 2.5.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay. So just correct me if I'm wrong. If you sign a loan agreement, right, and you sign for example, a 30-year loan agreement, don't they calculate already from the onset what your total amount is going to be for that 30 years. I.e., say you take it for 6 million or 7 million, whatever.
Yes.
And then they'll calculate, say, at the end of the term, you're going to be paying, well, I'm sucking here, 20 million, say, for example, right? Because of all the
Interest.
all the interests and etc., right? All the charges and things like that. So don't they plug that amount into the 30 years, and based on that, they then calculate what your installments should be.
Yes, that's
starting
correct.
off with.
Correct. You are correct. From the onset, if you again stick to just the minimum monthly, if you don't pay that extra, yes, you will be charged for that bigger interest portion over 20 to 30 years. So let's just say whatever the debit order is, that's the only payment you plan to make. How that is the interest that you'll be charged. You will be charged the bigger interest lump sum at the end of it all. If you tally it up in holistically. However, if you look at the pre-approval certificate and you go down to extra monthly repayments, can you see that little block there? They're paying an extra 3,000 rand a month. If you pay an extra 3,000 rand a month, right, into your 6.5 million, call it, facility, you will save 4.5 million rand in interest, and you will reduce your term by 86 months if you proceed in this way.
So I thought it doesn't reduce the interest; it just reduces the term. So
No.
you're paying the same amount, but
No.
just over a shorter term
No.
because you're increasing whatever
You're paying.
you're supposed to pay.
Yeah, you're paying less interest and you're shortening the term.
And the term, okay, then that works out pretty well. Then at least then the bigger term would make sense. Then.
Exactly. That's why I say it doesn't make sense to maybe there's 1 or 2 months as a business owner that you can't really make that extra payment, but you can make it. Let's say you make it up for in one of the months where you may triple your usual turnover, or you know how it goes as a business owner.
Yes.
And,
yes, of
and
course.
and let's just say in those months that are more quieter, you can only do the minimum repayment. But let's just say in the more busier months out of your financial year, you have times 10 the installment that you could just plug in, and that's where your savings make up. That's why this facility works.
They will recalculate it.
Correct.
Based on the amount that you put in and also the lump sums that you put in.
100%.
Because you know why I'm confused.